All right, shalom, shalom. First off, give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Karkadash. The honors to the apostles and the elders of GMS. Salutes and honors to the elect, all the brothers across the four corners who are enduring in truth and sincerity, all the men and the women who follow. So this lesson is, who is Gog and who are the Carmanians? All right, and this is based off the lesson that Apostle Tahar did earlier today, speaking on Gog and the Carmanians as it applies to everything that's going on in current events with Iran and Israel pretty much going to war. Okay, how it's relevant to really Armageddon and the end of this time and the beginning of that followeth, right, which is the kingdom of heaven. So just wanted to clear it up who it is and just give a proof, and Lord's word, this is edifying. All through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shemi Ashai, gotta throw that in as well. So this is from the Jewish Encyclopedia. It says the Carmanians, all right. People mentioned in 2nd Esdras, what's that, 15 and 30. It says the Carmanians are represented as joining the battle with the nations of the dragons of Arabia. The dragons will gain let's get the verse real quick. So this is 2nd Esdras 15, and starting at 29, it says, where the nations of the dragons of Arabia shall come out with many chariots, and the multitude of them should be carried as the wind upon the earth, that all they which hear them may fear and tremble. Also the Carmanians raging in the wrath shall go forth as the wild boars of the wood, and with great power they shall come and join the battle with them, and they shall waste a portion of the land of the Assyrians. Right? So who is this Carmanians that is speaking of that are going to waste a portion of the land of the Assyrians, who are joining them in battle? All right, it's speaking about the Iranians. So let's prove it. Going back, it says the dragons gain the upper hand, but themselves are later defeated. It says in 15 and 33. It says this has been taken to refer to the time of the Assassinids, Sarpor I. All right, it's not. It's not. This is where they're wrong. All right, but it gives us a clue on who these Carmanians are. All right, so when you do your research and we see who Sarpor I is, okay, it says Sarpor I was the second Assassinian king of kings of Iran. So this is linking Iran with the Carmanians. And then, but wait a minute, there's more. So, what was Iran called before? There we go. Persia. Ancient Iran, historically known as Persia, was the dominant nation in Western Asia for over 12 centuries. All right, with three successive native dynasties: the Ahmed, the Parthian, and the Sassanian. There we go. All right. So, who is Gog? Okay. Now, when you go to these ancient maps, okay, let me get a current map. 2024 map of the Caspian region. Let's see. Here we go, right there. Beautiful. All right. So we got this just for context, even better. All right. You got the Caspian Sea. You have the Black Sea. All right. The Mediterranean is right here. This is Russia. All this up there is Russia. Now you have Ukraine and Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan. All right, and Iran is right here below the Caspian Sea. So Russia and Iran aren't very far from each other, just to let people know. All right. With that, going back to these ancient maps, you see you have your Mediterranean Sea, you have your Black Sea, you have your Caspian Sea, you have the Gog in the land of what? In the land of Magog. What is this up here? This is Russia. Okay. Black Sea, Caspian Sea, Gog, which is Russia. Alright. Let's get a map of Russia. You got your Black Sea and your Caspian Sea. I'm just trying to get a better. Jeez, how hard can it be? This is terrible. There we go. Fuck. Alright, so and Russia is huge. So here we have our Black Sea, our Caspian Sea, and all of Mother Russia. So let's see if we can put this on another page over here. There we go. So let's get into the linking, because remember what we're here for. We're here for the destruction, right? We already know that the Carmanians are going to join the battle, okay, and waste a portion of the land of the Assyrians. So, what is the relevance for Gog and Magog? Well, let's get into Ezekiel 38. All right, this is Ezekiel 38, and starting at 1, it says, "The word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Gog, the land of Magog, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal, and prophesy against them. And say, Thus saith the Lord of power, Behold, I am against thee, O Gog, chief prince of Meshech and Tubal, and I will turn thee back and put hooks in thy jaws." It's speaking about turning, okay, the current day Russians back to the old Cold War USSR, kill every fucking thing moving Russian, okay? Back in that mindset. It says, "And he'll bring forth all thine army and horses and armor, all of them clothed, it's like horsemen, and all of them clothed with all sorts of armor, even a great company with bucklers and shields, all of them handling swords." And we know that Russia has a big army, okay? What is the size of Russia's military? The armed forces of the Russian Federation, commonly referred to as the Russian Armed Forces, are the military of Russia. In terms of active duty personnel, are the world's 5th largest military force, with 1.15 million and at least 2 million reserve personnel. So, the 5th largest Russia. That's why it's like the 5th largest military in the world. So when it says, all kind of horsemen and them clothes with all sorts of armor and a great company, because you have the Russians. Well, let's see. Let's see this military spending by country. There we go. The United States, China, and who? Russia. So they have the money to put into, it's saying horses and armor and that, but when you would translate that in today's language, which will be tanks, planes, and your missile systems. The S-500, the let's see, what are Russia's let me see. So they have what are Russia's hypersonic missiles? The Zircon has a range of 1,000 kilometers or 625 miles and travels at 9 times the speed of sound, according to Russia. All right. Military analysts have said that its hypersonic speed can mean greatly reduced reaction time for air defenses and a capability to attack large and deep hardened targets. Okay? Who has the fastest missile in the world? Russia. Okay? So the Lord has put the spirit on Russia, on these Russian scientists. Really, they were German scientists coming back from the end of World War II. All right, we were just going over that on the highways this past weekend, that a portion went to America, a portion went to Russia, and a portion went to South America. So, going back to the scriptures, right? All of them handling swords, all of them, heavily armored or heavily armed. Okay, it says Persia. Who? Who's Persia? Iran. Also, the Carmanians. So, let me see. Russia and Iran relations. Due to international economic sanctions on Iran, Russia has become a key trading partner, especially in regard to the former's excess oil reserves. Currently, Russia and Iran share a close economic and military alliance, and both countries are subject to heavy sanctions by most Western nations. That's the only thing they can do. Is Iran and Russia teaming up? The two countries supply each other with useful goods. Since 2022, Iran has sold Russia drones and weapon systems that are causing damage in Ukraine. Its first military support for non-Islamic countries since the revolution in 1979. Early this year, Iran also sent Russia 1 million barrels of crude by tanker, another first. So, let's see. S-300. Russia completes S-300 delivery to Iran. So, Russia completes the delivery of the S-300 air defense missile system to Iran last month, concluding the $800 million deal signed between the two states in 2007. So this ain't nothing new. Okay? They've been sharing resources, been sharing military knowledge and all of that. Been, selling things back and forth. Because at the end of the day, they're up against the West. They're up against NATO. Alright? The dragon. Alright? The beast in Revelation. Speaking of the Revelations. Before we jump over there. It says, Persia, Ethiopia, Libya, all of them with shield and helmet, Gomer and all his bands in the house of Togramar of the north quarters, all his bands, and many people with thee, says, to be thou prepared and prepare thyself, speaking of Russia, Gog and Magog, alright, it says, be thou prepared and prepare for thyself, thou and all thy company that are assembled unto thee, and be thou a guard unto them. So Russia is to be a guard for Persia. So Gog is to be a guard for the Carmanians. And we've seen everything that's going on. Iran, You can just put Iran and then go to the news and let's see what it says. Iran-backed militia boasts a possession of strategic air defense systems. Let's go. Oh, Slovakia. Let's go back to the let's just get this right here. This is what I wanted. Oh snap! Here we go. Russia and Iran turning Israel and Ukraine into battlefield laboratories. So, hey, because what's going on right now? The beast, America. Well, America's the great horde, but America's also part of the beast, part of the NATO, part of the, that conglomerate, the EU, and all those countries. All right, they're trying to take down Russia. They're trying to take down God, and then you have those, them JOOs, all right, who are beefing with Iran. So with the Iran attack, all right, or should I say the Iranian response, the retaliation, okay, Israel says it will retaliate against Iran. Well, you started it, okay? But, that's going too deep into the subject. I want to get back to what we were stating. Basically proving that Iran and Russia, they're tight. The scriptures say that they're going to be tight, and everything is coming to pass, man. We're right there. So when you go into the David Guzik, okay, he goes into it, but you got to pick the bones out. It's let me see. It says if Rosh is understood to be the name of a people or a place, it has no other connection or reference in the Old Testament. There are many who think Rosh speaks of Russia or the Russians, but only the direct evidence of this is similar in names. Well, it's similar in maps too. Can we go back to the maps? Can we go back to the maps? These maps aren't here for nothing. Okay? So, where are we? It says Meshach and Tubal were two peoples north of Israel, somewhere near the Black Sea and the Caspian Sea. Near what? Near the Black Sea and the Caspian Sea. Near what? Near the Black Sea and the Caspian Sea. Near the Black Sea and the Caspian Sea. It's Russia. It's Russia. It says these people were nowhere else noted in the Old Testament for any threat or animosity against Israel. It's not speaking against Israel, but they don't understand prophecy. But it's a good it's good knowledge. You just got to know how to pick out the bones. It says though the names Meshach and Tubal have similar sounds to Russian cities Moscow and Tobolsk. Similar sounding names alone are not enough to make certain connection with Russia inner cities, which that's true, but this is more than just circumstantial evidence, okay? So let's get this last precept, and I'm going to end it on this. All right, this is Revelation 20 and 8. It says, I'll start at verse 7. It says, and when the 1,000 years are expired, what 1,000 years? Jumping back up to Revelation 1 and 2, it says, and I saw an angel coming down from heaven, having the key to the bottomless pit, which is talking about Yahweh Shai, who has the key, all right, to the bottomless pit, which is Europe, all right, which has a lack of mineral resource and a great chain in his hand, speaking of slavery, okay, and he laid hold of the dragon, which is, the Roman Empire, NATO, all those empires all in one. You have Rome, Greece, Britain, the French, and hold on real quick. Who is the fifth? Yeah. The Roman Empire, the Greeks, Germania Major, Germania Minor, Gaul, Gaul, which is France, and Esposlakia. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. The Greeks, Germania Major, Germania Minor, Gaul, and Hispaniola, which is Spain. All right, all of those, which is basically today NATO and the EU. Just for edification, NATO and the EU are all those European countries, and the old serpent, which is that from Genesis, all right, which is the spirit of Esau and Cain and today's so-called, white tea people. Okay, it says which is the devil and Satan, and bound him for 1,000 years. All right, and this is speaking about the end. It's like the beginning of the Holy Roman Empire and ending in the birth of the Renaissance. All right, which is about 300 AD to about 1300 AD, give or take. Okay. It says, and he cast them into the bottomless pit and shut them up, and set a seal upon him that he should not deceive the nations no more till the 1,000 years should be fulfilled. Which that was at the end, like I said, the beginning of the Renaissance, and after that he must be loose a little season. So that little season is, we're in that season, all right. This is the end of the season, all right. And guess what? We started off with a bad record. We were down, we were behind the 8 ball. That's like, really starting off, 35 to nothing. Now it's the fourth quarter, but since the fourth quarter started, we've been scoring touchdowns, and we're back in the game, baby. And we're about ready to take this lead and win this game, which is, what it says in the fourth verse, really, us, reigning with Yahweh Shai 1,000 years, but that's speaking about something totally separate. Let's stay on topic with this 1,000 years, all right? Or really right after it, all right? This little season that he was loose. Because that's the time that's speaking about here in Revelations 20:7. It says, and when the 1,000 years were expired, Satan should be loosed out of his prison, right? Same as it said right up here. And shall go out to deceive the nations which are in the four quarters of the earth. So that's the so-called white man spreading his democracy, getting becoming the leader of this world. All right, covering the faces of the judges. All right, spewing all his BS, man. All right, let's get it. Let me see. All right, this is Job chapter 13 and verse 4. It says, "But ye are forgers of lies; ye are physicians of no value." All right, so the so-called white man has gone throughout the whole world. All right, deceiving the nations. All right. Keeping none of their treaties here in America with the so-called Native Americans. All right, just spreading death and destruction, rape, rap, and murder all over the four corners. All right, it says, Gog and Magog, okay, Russia, to gather them to the battle, the number of whom is the sand of the sea, which is speaking about, all right, that third war's war, that final battle, Armageddon. The mountain of troops that's just set to go down. Matter of fact, let's get Joel 3. It's Joel 3. It's Joel 2. Let's go to Joel 2. Oh, sorry, hold up. Joel 3:1, it says, "For behold, in those days and in that time, when I shall bring again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem, I will also gather all nations and will bring them down to the valley of Jehoshaphat, Yahweh Shaphat, or the Most High's judgment. And I will plead for them there for my people and for my heritage Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations and parted my land." All right, so that's what it's speaking about, right? That last battle. And when you go over here, let me see. Yeah, this is Joel 2:20. It says, "But I will remove far off from you the northern army, and I will drive them into a land barren and desolate, with his face toward the east sea, and his hinder part toward the utmost sea, and his stink shall come up, and his ill savor shall come up, and something because he has done great things." And that's speaking of. All right, let me see. Here we go. When you look at a map of Saudi Arabia, and it speaks about its face toward the East Sea. All right, that East Sea. Where am I at? Here we go. Let me put these next to each other. That East Sea being the Persian Gulf. All right, and the utmost sea being the Red Sea. All right, and this is nothing but desert land, a desolate land. Okay, let's see. Saudi Arabia is desert. And the Saudi Arabian Peninsula is hot, dry climate. Dust storms are anything but rare. Saudi Arabia is 95% desert. That's all we needed right there. All right, that desolate land. All right, a land barren and desolate, with its face toward the east sea and its hinder part towards the utmost sea. All right, so that's where that battle is going to take place. And as we said, as we read, the Carmanians, who are the Iranians, they're going to waste a portion of the Syrians, which the Syrians is also another word for America. All right, who are greatly allied against the JOO, or allied with the JOOs. Okay, they helped with this attack this past weekend. All right, when the Carmanians, when the Iranians were shooting all those missiles, all right, over there in the land of Israel, America was helping, to try to get to try to block some of those missiles and drones that were shooting at them. But the Lord's will, this is edifying, and I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai, by Hashem Karkadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of GMS. Salutes and honors to the elect, all the brothers across the four corners who are enduring in truth and sincerity, all the men and the women who follow. Shalom.